So moving on to the part that you've all been waiting for, and that is how to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Now we get this question a lot, and that is, what is the best exchange? What is the best broker? Who do you use? Now guys, we only work currently with Kraken and Bitrex. Now we will cover a story in the next lesson on Bitrex and how to use it and the interface, etc. However, Kraken is where we do most of the buying and selling for cryptos. Now you can see this is the homepage. Now I will make a video just on the homepage first, and that is because this is extremely confusing for new people. Now the minute someone goes on Kraken, they are introduced to this homepage and you're filled with so many different options on what to do. And this can be quite intimidating for a first timer. So I'm going to break this down for you very quickly and very simply, and just to give you a bit of an insight on what to do when you first log in. Now obviously once you've signed in, which you will be asked to do from the main page, we do not need a video for that, you will be brought here. Now this is the trade page / overview. Now what you will get is your current holdings of whatever you have. I just have a bit of spare XRP lying around in this account worth about 151 euros. So I did actually forget this was here. So we have euro equivalent. So what this means is how much euro you're actually holding, not the euro equivalent, but the euro amount you're holding. So with that in mind, you know what you can do with buying and selling, what you want to do with this. So we can move forward. Now what you'll notice straight away is this. Now this is of course the XRP / euro pair. And if I click on this, it gives me every single tradable crypto that Kraken offers. That can be XRP, XMR, XLM, and obviously more importantly, you have the more popular ones like F, Dash, Bitcoin, BCH, and of course Bitcoin, Euro, and USD, and F/Bitcoin. These being the most free popular. Now what you can do is, if you want to switch this to dollars or GBP, I simply go to XRP, which is what I'm holding, and I click on USD. And what this will do, once this refreshes, is change this to the dollar amount of my XRP holdings. Now a lot of us actually do work in dollars, so we will leave it like this. Now let's work around the interface. So of course you have the last high, the last low, you have the 24-hour volume and the weighted average price, which for this current day is around just under 26 cents for XRP. And what you can do is, you may notice here there's this, which is constantly updating. I believe around every 60 seconds this does refresh itself. However, there we go. Or you can refresh it yourself if you need be after 10 seconds. So what this means is you have the 0.16 and the 0.26% here. Now that is the current fee you pay for the buy and the fee you pay for the sell on every deal you make on Kraken. Now what happens is, once you reach this amount of volume traded in a weekly basis or a monthly basis, it may be now, you will move on to the next bracket of fees, which is slightly cheaper for both the buy and sell. Now what will happen is, I have exceeded this several times, but once I've stopped trading constantly and left my investments to hold, this does reduce back down to the daily average. So you do need to keep up this trading volume if you want to get the lower fees. So what will happen now is, you notice this is about to refresh again. I will refresh this myself. And if we look here, this has just refreshed as well. So this not only refreshes the currency rates on the side here, where you'll have the most popular currency pairs / crypto pairs on Kraken, these will all be refreshing here, but you can also refresh your holdings with the simple click of this one button. So if I press this again, this should refresh. There we go, we've just lost 30 cents. So what you can see is, a lot of the cryptos that I have bought prior do remain here in case I buy them again in the future. So again, it's a nice way if you're holding loads of cryptos to just kind of check and take a look at your balance and just see what the rate is and see what your current holdings are worth. Now, if you move down, you have trade balances. This would be the current valuation of a trade you are holding. Now, I am not holding a trade, so to speak. I'm holding Ripple. So there is no trade to actually monitor. So what this means is, position valuation and trade balances would be on a margin or leveraged trade. So if you were to enter a trade like you would with Forex with margin or leverage, this would show up here with your current value, profit or loss, etc. If we move down, we have the ledger, which is just a simple 100 entry print of everything I've been doing in terms of withdrawals, trades and deposits. And you can just have a quick look, you can see what I've been doing, go to the 10th page, but I will be moving on to this shortly, so we do not need to worry about this now. So if we move up, you can see a lot of options and I'll be going through each and every one on each lesson. So for example, overview, new order, positions, trade, etc. We'll be covering this in the next lesson. So now that you understand the homepage, you can see you have account, you have charts, you have help, should you need help. Again, we will cover this in a separate lesson. One thing I will show you before we go, this opens up a chart, a miniature chart of whatever is selected here. Now that will of course be XRP USD for this example. This is a very convenient trading view chart widget. You can take screenshots, you can do all of your analysis from here. Although if you want to change, for example, Bitcoin, simply change it, select this, and the Bitcoin chart will open. Again, you can change a time frame, you can do your analysis, you can add indicators, the same way you would with any other cryptocurrency pair. So that's it for this lesson. Let's move on to the next lesson and really get you understanding Kraken properly. Hi guys, and welcome back. Now, before we can actually really do anything on Kraken, we do need to get verified first. Now, the verification comes in 4 tiers. So technically that means 4 stages. Now, what this means is every time you go up another stage, you are allowed to withdraw and deposit more and potentially trade more, especially in fiat currencies. Whereas if we're purely working in cryptocurrencies, there is not really a limit on how much you can withdraw and deposit. However, to get the money in first, we normally need to deposit something we already have, which is usually euros, dollars, or pound. So let me show you how to do that. Once you're on the home page, it will be good to go straight to get verified. Once you select this, it will come up with the verification page. And this will immediately show you every single tier and what you're currently entitled to do. So when we start off, we will be starting off with tier 0. Now this means you have a limit of absolutely nothing. You cannot even withdraw and deposit. Now this is because all you've done is sign up. You have not even given your personal information. Now what you have to remember, guys, is cryptocurrencies, they are very closely linked to money laundering, drug use, and of course buying items on the dark web which are illegal. So for investment purposes, we have to make sure we're doing this correctly. Now these institutions and exchanges, they don't want to get shut down, and we don't want them to get shut down as our money goes with it. So everything has to be above the law, especially for investment purposes, which, it gives us a sigh of relief and it gives them a sigh of relief. So it's good we just stick to the rules and we give in our information as soon as possible, and we just have a streamlined process to investing. So the first thing you want to do, and what I actually personally recommend, is completely get every single tier signed up for. Now this is because they see you as a serious investor, they will prioritize you, and they will streamline you further into getting verified quicker. Whereas if you just go straight for tier 1 or 2, it can take a bit of time to get verified, and they may not really care. It sounds harsh, but that is how it currently works without this regulation going on. So when we move to tier 1, you cannot deposit any money yet. You can only deposit crypto, which again has no limit for deposit and withdrawals, which is great. However, when it comes to this, account funding is limited to digital currencies only. So again, we can't really do much, and we don't actually have any cryptos yet. If you do, that's great, send them through, just get tier 1 verified. But it does say here actually, you can only withdraw up to 20,000 USD a month, which again, shouldn't really be that much of a problem. We probably won't need to be withdrawing that much on a monthly basis, let alone 2,500 on a monthly basis. So I guess if you are just purely already in the cryptocurrency space and you just have some spare Bitcoin or Ethereum, go for it, stick to tier 1. However, we want to be a bit more serious here, and for most of us, we have not started off with cryptocurrencies. So let's go straight to tier 2. You can deposit up to $2,000 a day. You can withdraw up to $10,000 every month. You can also withdraw the same and deposit on a daily basis. Crypto is now slightly increased to 5,000. Now, if we move to the monthly basis, you can deposit 10,000, you can withdraw 10,000, and you can withdraw 50,000 USD a month in crypto. Again, it probably isn't needed, but when you get to that stage, it's good to still increase the limit. The last thing you want to do is turn 10,000 into 100,000 or 300,000 or 500,000 through some smart investments, and then be stuck with all of this money on an exchange because you can only withdraw 50,000 a month. So I hope you can see where I'm coming from here. Now again, ideally, the first thing you should do, in my opinion, is complete tier 1 and 2 and go straight for 3 and 4. 3 and 4, in my opinion, are essential. Now again, because the limits are so huge, this is better for us because you never know when the investment you have might just explode 5,000%. Next thing you know, you have 500,000, you have 100,000, and you can't get it out. So tier 3 and tier 4 is where the limits really start to increase. So as you can see here, you have 25,000 deposit limit, so that is for pound, euro, dollar, and you can also withdraw the same amount again on a daily basis. Now $25,000 on a daily basis is huge. So when you move to monthly, you can do 200,000 deposit and withdraw on a monthly basis. Again, this is where you can stop and be like, cool, I'll stick with tier 3. However, you want to get serious with this and you want Kraken to prioritize you. I'm all about getting you guys signed up and ready to trade as soon as possible. Now, tier 4 does require a bit more paperwork, but the minute this is applied for, you should be ready to go. Whereas it can take a few weeks to get signed up, it could just take less than a week with tier 4 verification. So let me show you exactly how you do this. Now I will show you the tier 1 application fully. This is my full name. Date of birth I did not submit because that's already submitted on tier 2 and 3. I have my mobile number, which again I will blank out for this purpose of the video, security reasons. And then you move on to tier 2. So tier 1 is very simple. Now I will be blanking out the tier 2 details as well, as this has my address, my postcode, and just for security reasons, you've already got my name. I don't really want to be giving out my address. So again, tier 2, very simple stuff. No ID needed, just a simple address verification. This should be done instantly. So again, we do this very simply, get this done, we go straight to tier 3. So now that we're on tier 3, they'll ask you for 2 pieces of information. Now that will be an identity document proving your identity, which again could be a driver's license, a passport for example, and then they need proof of residence, which normally comes in the form of a bank statement. You can normally get these online from your bank online trading portal. Simply print off the PDF document of your statement, or even take a picture. Just send it through. Tier 3 will begin to be processed. Now this is of course where it starts to take a bit longer. Now most people can do this. So what you want to do is you want to go straight to tier 4. Now that you've submitted that, you send an email to support, as there's no option to simply just write down what you want to do. Go to verification. Go to tier 4 individual account. So here we go. You have to open an account first by submitting tier 3 verification. Then open a support ticket specifying your interest in a tier 4 individual account. The purpose of the account is obviously for higher limits for everything. You'll get some simple questions here. Is it for a third party? Is it for yourself? Do you have a business account? Are you employed? How much financials do you have? What is your net worth? And again, you don't actually really have to give the correct information here. And obviously, if you put within the medium range, regardless of your financial situation, it just helps them streamline the verification for you. Again, source of wealth. This doesn't matter too much. They do not need to know. Again, investments, inheritance, simple, no questions asked. Once you've filled in all this information and you've sent a support ticket, they will respond to you confirming if you're verified or not. Now, the minute this is done, you're ready to trade and you can do pretty much everything you want from this stage onwards. So now let's move on to the next lesson, and hopefully you should be verified, ready for the next steps. See you in the next lesson, guys. Hi guys, now welcome to yet another crucial lesson. Now, if you haven't already seen, I'm actually trying to get you verified and set up as efficient as possible before we actually get to the trading. So this lesson is going to be about security, and this is a measure which is constantly forgotten and completely gone over by many people. Now this can lead to your account getting hacked or even breached, meaning your funds can be wiped and taken away without you even knowing. So the first thing we're going to do is go straight to the security tab. And we're going to be installing something called two-factor authentication. Now we do have the password option here, which you can do if you're not happy with your original password. Again, I do recommend being as secure as possible even with the password. But we want to be even more secure. So we're going to select this option here called two-factor authentication. Now, as soon as this page opens, you will notice several things. I already have two-factor set up on account login, funding, and a master key as a backup. Now, what this means is this is essentially a secondary password. So whenever I log into my account, there is no username and password to get in. You have to enter the username, password, and the extra two-factor password. This means if someone was to breach my account, they would need to have the Google Authenticator password, and this is only available on my own phone and devices. So unless they had my phone, or unless they had like an extra password or another device of mine, they would not be able to get in. So the crucial ones that you need to set up, in my opinion, is the account login, because this is obviously the first port of call. If they can get into your account login with two-factor, they can get into anything. So you need this to be set up correctly. Now, funding. Funding is deposits and withdrawals. Now, should they get through to your account, which again should be nearly impossible with two-factor, the first thing these people will most likely try and do is withdraw your holdings straight to their own account, or buy something else with their laundered money and again withdraw straight to another account of theirs. So what you want is another password on the funding. So this way, if they try and deposit, they try and withdraw, they are hit with another password. And again, should this fail a few times, they will then need the master key. There's only so many attempts these people can make before Kraken will lock your account. So it is good to have all of these set up. Now, because I have these set up, we will just use the trading one as an example. And if you need the extra security, why not go ahead and do this yourself as well? This means whenever you buy and place a trade, you will have to have another two-factor authentication. So this is complicated, and I'm going to make this extremely easy for you. So first we'll go to method. We have several methods. You could easily enter another password, or you have two Google Authenticator methods. We're going to stick with TOTP mode, which stands for a time-based one-time password, which means roughly every 10 seconds a new password will be generated on the Google app. So we simply select this, and then we see what we need to put it on for. We can do it for creating new orders, closing open positions, and cancelling open orders. For this case, I'm going to select them all, and for every other criteria, I would have everything selected. Now, the algorithm to work with the Google app is SHA-1. Do not attempt anything else, keep it with SHA-1. OTP length, of course you can change this if you'd like to, but ideally 6 characters is more than enough for a password. Now what you do is you press continue. Now this now gives you your manual setup key, all of the functions this will be enabling, and it will give you a QR code. Now you have two options. You can either enter the manual key on the Google app, or you can just scan the QR code. For this example, we will just be scanning the code. It's quick, it's simple, and it's efficient. Now what I'll do, I will open up the screen record feature on the iPhone. I'll go to the Authenticator app. I'll scroll down. All of my options on the phone available right now. But what we'll do is we'll go to plus. We have two options, manual entry and scan barcode. For this example, again, scan barcode. Now what I'll be doing is simply holding this up there, and it's already found it. So if I scroll down to the bottom, we have Kraken trade, Kraken trade, Kraken trade. This gives me 3 different options. Although it's the same, it's just an extra security measure. Now all I will do is type in the password it has given me. I will use the bottom one as this is the latest. So that'll be 682910. Once I press confirm, this should enable, and it has now been updated successfully. Now guys, I cannot explain how important this step is, and I would not recommend going forward or holding any kind of fund on an exchange until two-factor is set up. Now this is done, we can start progressing to the trading. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Right, so now you're verified, it's time you figure out how to get some money onto your Kraken account. Now there's several ways to do this, and it will of course depend on the region you're from. Now because we're from the UK, I will cover mostly the UK example. However, we will be going across the US dollar deposit as well. So first of all, you'll notice the funding tab here. We're going to select the funding tab. From here, you will be quite overwhelmed again with a lot of information. First of all, you want to notice the deposit tab is highlighted first. Now, because we're going to cover deposits in this video, we will leave this selected. Now, if we scroll down, you can see various deposits I have made. Currently, from this tab alone, just being Ether, Euros, and some Ripple. Now, you notice just here, we have every single deposit you can make available on the left-hand side. Now, because we're from the UK, or anyone from the Eurozone for that matter, I do recommend everybody depositing Euros. This is one of the most efficient ways to get your money onto Kraken. Now, if we select the Euro tab, we have deposit methods here. For this, we'll be going for SEPA. Now, SEPA is a way to send Euros to any bank within the Eurozone, either same day or next day. And this can either be completely free of charge or around £4 to £5 for many UK banks. So overall, you're paying the less fees possible and you're getting your money as fast as possible. Now, there is another way around getting your money into these exchanges, and I will cover that in the video after withdrawals. This is almost a bypass. However, it can be a bit more costly. So let's go down to this. What you'll notice at the bottom is all of the bank details you need to send your funds to. You have a minimum fee of €1. Again, you most likely will be depositing more than €1. So let's look at this. You can see the actual address is based in London, but the bank itself is based in Germany. So what you will know is, of course, Germany is within the Eurozone. This means whenever you send and enter these details into your bank to send like a normal wire transfer from one bank to another, your bank will identify the bank's name, where it's located, and automatically convert your payment to euro for you. So this means for many of us like me in the UK, when you send a wire transfer to Kraken, your bank knows this is based in Germany, it will convert it to euro for you, and then your money will be automatically converted at the best exchange rate. You can also confirm this before pressing send. So that's how you deposit euros and how I also 100% recommend for most users. Now, if you're from the US, you will be most likely going down the dollar route. Again, very similar, you'll be using a SWIFT payment method to wire transfer your money. Now this will be Payward Japan. So this is Kraken's Japanese beneficiary. So look, use this name as beneficiary, not Kraken. Deposits with a wrong beneficiary name may get lost. Again, this is the same for most banking systems anyway. If you entered someone's details in wrong, it will go to someone else's account and not theirs. Very simple stuff, but please be cautious when doing so. So again, you will notice US dollar has a slightly higher fee of $10 a transaction. This is inconvenient, but it's not really any other option we can do for now. So if you're from the US, stick to US dollar transfer, enter these details in, and press send like any other wire transfer. If you're from the Eurozone, go to SEPA, enter the details, and send like any other transaction. One thing that's extremely important, do not mess up the reference. This reference is crucial. You can, if you like, get rid of the spaces and keep these words together, but make sure the kraken.com is in the reference. Once you've made about 5 to 10 deposits, you can get rid of this. This is no longer needed. Kraken have recognized you as a regular payee, so this isn't a problem. One other thing I should show you is the GBP option. This is either disabled or it's going to be very expensive. And as we can see currently, it's disabled. This is normally due to regulations with banks and cryptocurrencies. So at the moment, the only actual workaround for us is with Euro. Now let's move to the cryptocurrency deposits. Let's say, for example, you wanted to deposit Ether or Bitcoin or Ripple, Litecoin. These are normally the fastest methods. Let's just say the generic Bitcoin. Click on the Bitcoin tab. So what you'll see here is a Bitcoin address. Now when you first open this up, there will not be one. So all you can do is press generate. This will generate you a new Bitcoin address. New address, this has not been used. As you can see, I have used this one. Now all you would do is when you're sending your Bitcoin from one exchange or a wallet to another, all you would do is copy and paste this address and it will send it directly to this address here. Simple stuff, Do not mess this up, because as you know, you can lose your deposits and transactions forever if you get this wrong. This will take 6 confirmations and the funds will arrive in your account. Now, if you're scared you're going to get this wrong, just press select, copy and paste from here. If not, you have the QR code option where you can simply scan this. Many places like Coinbase will allow you to scan the QR code and send it directly. This completely removes the rate of error. So if you have the QR code option, please use it. Now let's move on to withdrawals. See you in the next lesson. Okay guys, so I'm going to throw you in a little situation right now. You need to deposit money. One of your favorite cryptos that you've been eyeing up for very long now has just fallen 20%. It's a perfect buying opportunity. Problem is, going through the traditional method on Kraken, you have to deposit euro or dollar. Now, this is going to take a working day. Knowing how the cryptocurrency market works, more likely than not, this crypto is going to reverse, probably by tomorrow. You now have no other options. You think you have no other options. However, there is something called Coinbase. Now, as I did mention in the last lesson, this is a slightly costlier version of doing this. However, you can get your money into crypto the same day. You will be paying the price, but you will probably make up for it when those returns bounce back within a day or two. So let me just show you exactly how you do this. Now, with Coinbase, there's no way to actually replicate the sign up method. And because I have already signed up, there is no way I can replicate this process again, as it does take a long time. But to be honest, it's exactly the same as Kraken. In fact, probably easier, and it will all be taken down the same day. So all you have to do is sign up, name, address, email, password, the usual. It will then ask you for 2 forms of identification. Again, that will just be simply uploading a picture of your passport, maybe a driving license. And all that will do is their system actually has an algorithm which will automatically verify that for you. So it should be within a few minutes you're actually done and dusted. And depending on how much money you have in your bank account and what your incomes and outgoings are like, they will actually automatically set you a limit on how much you can buy in a day. Now, the reason you can buy instantly is because they have a debit card option, which allows you to buy a certain amount on a weekly basis with your debit card. However, the fees are pretty extortionate, I will be honest. So what you can also do with Kraken and Coinbase is you can just send, again, another SEPA payment, but you will wait a working day. So if you want to go down the debit card route, I'll show you exactly what you do. Again, as you can see here, all of my transactions are available here. If I go to my F wallet, almost all of my purchases, I had a restriction of £500. So almost every purchase with my Visa debit has been around £500. I did start off with maybe a £200 limit, but again, I've got my wire transfers, the SEPAs, but I do have a lot of Visa debits recently because I have just been wanting to buy in a hurry. So all the way down from the bottom, we do have a lot of different purchases. So the full transparency is there if you want to see for yourself. The fee on the £500 buy was actually £20. So you can see how extortionate the fees can be. However, when you're in a hurry and you're down 30% and you know you can make that back very quickly, I have no issue paying that fee. As in the long term, I do not trade these constantly and regularly like FX. I do hold these to the long term. So a £20 fee will be made back very, very quickly. So what you do is, let's go to buy and sell. You have many options here. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Now for speed, ideally I would choose Ethereum and Litecoin. So my classic tactic would be Ethereum. The payment method it currently shows is Euro wallet. Now I have 16 cents on this wallet, so I can't really do much. All I would do is click this, HSBC Bank, it now selects my debit card. Now one thing that actually happened yesterday was they increased my limit to £2,500. So I can just press buy max. It will calculate that as a 10.33F approximately. However, you do notice I am almost paying a fee of £100 on this transaction. So I'm actually getting £100 less of Ether than I would be if I just waited a working day. So you are paying the premium for this instant service. However, if I did buy right now, This would immediately deposit Ether into my account, which I can go to here. For example, my Bitcoin purchases have arrived here. My Ether purchases arrived here. And all you would do is you would click, check it's here, check it's complete. Once it's complete, it would show up here. And all you would do is press send. Now, obviously I cannot do this right now as there's none in my account. However, if you press send, it will very simply ask you for this. If I go back to Kraken, go to deposit, I go to Ether, and all you would simply do is copy any of the Ether addresses you currently have into your Coinbase wallet here and press send, and this would most likely be available within 10 minutes straight into your Kraken account. From here you can swap that Ether into Ripple, Tether, Augur, Zcash, Economy, the list goes on. The point is with Coinbase you can only buy Bitcoin, Ethereum and Litecoin. So if you needed to buy Neo, for example, you could even send that to your Bitrex account. So the idea is you buy Ether, Litecoin or Bitcoin. From there you have the flexibility to send these to any exchanges you want and buy the crypto you actually need. And this is instant. So you'll be able to catch the moves that you're looking for. You won't miss out on any drops, but you will be paying the slight premium, which again, as I said, sometimes it needs to be done. This is a wild market and moves can be very, very quick. So now that's covered, I think it's time we move on to the next lesson. So the moment you've been waiting for is finally here. How to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. So I'm going to run you through the 3 stages of buying and selling on Kraken. And that is because there are simple, medium and advanced orders to place on Kraken. Now, whilst I do not necessarily condone the last 2, I will show you how to do this anyway, should this be how you want to go about investing. So first of all, we go back to the home page. You notice immediately we are actually on the trade tab. All we do is go to new order. This instantly switches us from the home page to the trading page. And you'll notice immediately we have the 3 options I just mentioned. We will keep this on simple for now. Now what you will see is actually quite a confusing interface, and Kraken only recently changed the interface to this, which is quite confusing because it has confused many people who are new to exchanging and trading in general. So for this example, seeing as I do hold some XRP on this account, I will actually show you how a buy and sell works with XRP. For this example, I will use XRP USD, seeing as that is what I have. And there we go. So now you can see I have XRP here, or US dollar, and you have a market and limit order here. So first of all, I'm going to sell all of the XRP I have here. So I'll simply copy and paste the amount I have here, go to sell, enter the amount of XRP I have. So now it says amount of XRP to sell. That's great, that's what I want to do. Now let's move on here. Now, the current price of XRP does not actually say. So it's either got to be a price you have predetermined. If I do check the charts, I believe it is around 26 cents right now. However, imagine you want to set a limit order or a take profit, just like FX. You simply enter the price you'd want. So for example, if I entered 40 cents, that means if I set the target of 40 cents, I would receive this much USD compared to the current value of around $180. So obviously I would be making a profit. However, this is risky and sometimes the orders don't fully get triggered on exchanges as the liquidity is not there like Forex yet. So it's better to just sell when you need to sell. So in that case, I just stick to market. This will sell your XRP at the best current market price. So all you do is confirm you're happy with the amount here, estimated amount to receive, obviously once the fees have been taken into account, press sell, confirm again, sell at this price, going to spend this much XRP and receive this much USD, submit my order, and this will now pop up just down here. So the order has been successfully created, it's available here, we're now waiting for someone to clear this order, and already it's gone. Now XRP has now been sold to USD. And there you can see I now hold 177.99 USD. So now let's buy the XRP again, because that's what I want to do. So all we do is create new order. It's the exact same process again. However, it does tend to get a bit more complicated with a buy order. So we go to buy. I now want to buy XRP. So now you need to select the market price again, as this is the price we need to get in at. And we now need to roughly calculate how much XRP we would get to match the amount of money in our account. There's no way to enter you want to buy this much XRP, which is quite stupid, but this seems to be how they're working at the moment. So let's just say roughly 65,000. 650. So now we have to slowly calculate our way to the exact ball sum figure. Now I am very close. I could probably add some decimal places in there, and that would get me to the figure. Okay, so you can get around 690.4 XRP for how much I hold. So all I'll do is buy XRP. Again, confirm everything's okay. Press submit order. Now the order actually cleared so fast it did not confirm. It says insufficient funds, however the order just completely cleared. Interesting. However, this can be the case with cryptos like XRP, which have a huge market cap. Therefore meaning there is a lot of liquidity. It's very easy to buy and sell and get these coins on and off the market. However, Kraken did glitch out slightly by saying there's insufficient funds. However, I believe it just tried to repeat the order. The fact is, I now have XRP back in my account. I can go to overview. I can refresh. And the monetary value is there. It's held. I now have XRP again. So now I'll show you how to do an intermediate order. I'll see you in the next lesson. So now we move on to intermediate orders. Simply select intermediate. Again, it will be next to the simple order we just went through. Now you will notice the interface changes very slightly. Now this is where it gets a bit more confusing, and again, in my opinion, actually unnecessary. However, you do need to know how to place these should you want to go down this route. Now again, you will notice straight away we have the same options as last time to buy and sell. You can in fact select any of the cryptos you want right from the interface, which is a bit more convenient. So if we went through this again the same way we would before, let's just say we want to buy 500 XRP. That would cost us $129.38. Now you may notice the leverage tab has actually been cancelled out, and that is because I don't actually have any USD in my account, and you cannot place a leverage trade with XRP to another crypto. It has to be a fiat currency like pound, euro or USD. So you can actually leverage just like Forex from this tab. But guys, I do not recommend this at all. The fact is the market is still very hectic, it's unregulated. And there has been times where I remember once Ether actually spiked from $300 to around $10 in a matter of seconds before instantly reversing back to its original trading price. Would you have had a leverage trade, you would have been completely wiped out in potentially tens of thousands of loss. And you would have been owed that, as this is exactly the same as a margin call with Forex. So again, I do not recommend going down that route. Plus, these exchanges are not like Forex brokers yet. They're not established as much. The liquidity, the trading volumes, they're not there. So your order could be missed, your take profit could be skipped. It's a very risky route to go down. But again, let's just continue. Start. You can choose when you want this order to actually be available on the market for somebody else to buy or sell. Expire. You can choose when the order expires. So should you set it today, you can let this run until next week, for example. Cool, you can let that run. You can also choose how you want the fees to be applied to your account and your trade. Do you want them to take it out as USD? Or do you want it to come out of your current XRP holdings, like I have here? Then all you would do is post a limit order once this is all selected. And then you simply press buy, just like we would have with the simple order, except you're now in a leveraged precision of potentially 2, 3, 4, 5 times your actual holding. So that's it for intermediate. We'll now move on to advanced. Last but not least, we have advanced orders. Next to the intermediate tab, simply press advanced. Now again, you can see we've just gone slightly more complicated, with just a few more options to throw into the mix. Let's stick with XRP USD again. Now you have the limit, you have settle position, or you have market. Now of course, if you had a running trade, you could settle the position at the original order price. However, we do not have that right now. So what we'll do is we'll stick with buy again at the current market price. Now let's just say we wanted to buy 5,000 XRP. That works out to just under 1,290 USD. So you can set the best price. You can set your limit price should you need to set a limit order or a buy order. This will enter you at the price you need to get in at. Or for example, you believe XRP is going to go to 40 cents or 30 cents. You can simply enter that here. Or you can put just under that price or just over that price, and it will trigger you just under or over that region. However, it is better to put a fixed number so you're buying in at the most accurate price possible. So let's stick to market price. That's how much it would cost us to buy 5,000 XRP. Leverage is not selected as we do not have the USD in the account, we have XRP. But you could obviously do ×5 your position. I wouldn't really recommend trying to set an order on the market at a random point in time and trying to pick and choose when. The market's too crazy for that right now. So everything should be at market price and as soon as possible. Expires. You can change this if you like, but again, good until cancelled. If it doesn't hit, you know the price has probably gone away from this region already, so you've missed your opportunity. It's better to just buy in now. The currency, again, we did cover this in the previous lesson. However, if you want to change the fees and you can take it out of the XRP instead, you can do so here. Now this is where it gets a bit interesting. You have conditional close. So you can actually choose where to take profit and how to close your position properly. This depends on a various amount of factors. So you can choose the market price. If you need to settle XRP at the best market price, for example, you may have a running position right now, or you can just set another limit order. I want to close this should XRP reach 50 cents. Cool. Or you can do percentage of market price. Maybe 5% from the current market price it's at now. Press buy. 5% profits time, the position will close. Very overcomplicated stuff, and I do 100% agree with just sticking with simple order, pressing market. You want to buy XRP, great. You want to buy 500 XRP, press buy, the order is done. This technical stuff is not needed in crypto, and it will just wipe out your account very, very fast. So yeah, for peace of mind, stick with simple. If you want to over leverage, then please follow my steps to do this correctly. I do not want anybody here getting burnt, losing a lot of money, or over leveraging without having stop losses in place. Crucial stuff, guys. Now let's move on to quite an interesting lesson actually, and that is advanced charting tools. See you guys in the next lesson. Right guys, so you may have noticed there is actually a very snazzy tab right next to the orders in the beta phase saying new charting and trading tools. And this is in fact Kraken's platform called CryptoWatch, which is essentially another way to buy and sell and manage positions on Kraken. So if we click this tab, you're brought to a very futuristic looking trading portal. Now, what this essentially is TradingView with the ability to buy and sell all of your orders already available on Kraken. So if you have funds on Kraken, it will interlink here. So it's immediately brought us to FV Euro. And that would be because that was probably one of the last things I looked at. Now, one thing I will say is when you actually first open this, you will be shown all of this hectic stuff. You may even have indicators down here. Do not panic. Do not worry. This is very, very confusing. And the purpose of this video is to actually clear all of this up and make this available for you to trade carefree. So first of all, you'll notice the chart right here. We will enlarge that very soon. You will notice here we have the buy and sell wall, which I will actually cover in the next lesson, as this is a very, very simple thing to cover. However, this is very confusing still to most. Most cannot grasp the concept of what this is, as it does look very technologically advanced. And over here is almost attached to this is the order book. Again, this will be covered in the next lesson. So all we do, simply press the tab again and get rid of these. Our next purpose is to learn this interface and also clean up this chart a little bit. So what you can see here, you have the option of which kind of chart style you'd like. Again, for the purpose of this video and for what we overall trade with, we will stick with candlesticks. You can now choose to get rid of the grid, which I will. I'll get rid of the EMA, and I will get rid of the parabolic. I'd like a nice clean chart for this presentation. Now you will notice there are loads of circles on my chart. These are in fact my buy and sell orders, with the greens being the buy and the red being the sells. So this is F Euro. If I go to the weekly chart, you can see I actually did catch Ether at a very, very good price. Originally sold a bit, and that was at 41 euros, and I actually made some purchases around 44 euros, all within 100 euros to 300 euros. A few here, got an almost 700 euro purchase, which was a great buy for 8.8 F. So it's obviously amazing how much F that bought you back at that price there. And you can see I made some sales here as well. Just general trading activity, which is good for you to see and look back on and just kind of realize, okay, I bought here. I did actually sell regardless in a profit due to most of my buys being around here. I did make some on the FUSD pair as well, but we can get to that later. And the next thing you'll have here is snap by default, and that is the drawing tool. So if I was to draw a line, this would automatically snap to the high or low of each wick. So if you wanted to, you could just snap it straight on there and that would stick. Quite convenient. It's up to you. It's all down to your own preference for that one. Now we do have a new feature, which is enlarge. So you can enlarge your screen, play around with the chart this way. And you also can now take a screenshot, just like TradingView, which you can download straight to your phone or your laptop, whatever your preference is. So now we'll go back to this. Another cool feature they've recently introduced is actually the settings tab, which allows you to change the interface completely and your theme, depending on your needs. I actually really like the Kraken Light theme, so I will keep this from now on. It's brighter, it's cleaner, just helps you view the chart a little bit easier. And again, you can choose the actual prices. So even though this is the F Euro pair, you could choose to convert this to USD if you are from the US, or GBP, Japanese yen. You get the gist. Now, my orders and my trades. So again, if I remove this, this would completely remove all of my activity from here. However, I do quite like to leave this here. It's not too disturbing, and that's all good. Now, if I set a limit order, like I showed you in the previous lesson, this would show up here. For example, if you had a limit order set at around 351 euros, this would be a little line here showing you when it would be triggered. Again, it's good to leave that on the chart. You want to know what you've set. You want to know where it is in relevance to the current price. Now, I will actually show you again with the XRP example how to buy and sell. So if I switch to XRP USD, you can see I made a good few purchases here at 1,500 USD, 281 USD, 1,229 USD, and then some few buys here, 28 USD, just some small ones, 334, and then I will show you now. Oh, so actually what's interesting is this was the sell order I made recently in the previous video for 178 USD. So this does actually show up here. So what we'll do in this example is we'll go to sell, as we do not have any USD right now. Collect and select the funds. So I'm going to sell everything. Again, with buy, this is exactly the same. So there's no need to make a separate video on this. It's exactly the same. So you go to sell, select how much XRP you have, and then simply press sell. Confirm. And then this will set an order right here. As you can see, it's now setting the order at the best market price. And all this will simply do is it will set the order onto the market like it has now and await someone to buy this order off you. And just like that, the order has been cleared. So if you go to trades, you can just see the order has been fulfilled. I sold 688 XRP at 25.6 cents. And again, all of my orders are here. Which is great actually with Kraken. It's just the transparency. You do not get this with many other exchanges or brokers. So now I want to buy back the XRP. I have 175 USD. I will now get back slightly less XRP, which is not a problem. It's only $1 worth. And I'll press buy. Confirm the buy. The order will then set again. And now we wait. The order's been set. Someone will now sell this off me. And just like that, the order's been cleared. Double confirm. I've now bought XRP yet again. And as you can see, I have 683 XRP in my account. Now, in the next lesson, I'm going to show you what exactly this is and this is. So guys, see you in the next lesson. I hope you have been taking notes of all of this. Right guys, this video is going to break down the order book and the buy and sell walls in far more detail, just so you can really understand what this means and how the larger investors use this to their advantage to predict a breakout or move before it happens. As you can see here, we've already covered in the previous lesson, this is the order book. What you see here is every order for a buy or sell that has been set on Kraken, including what prices they're placed at. Everything in the green is a buy order, meaning if I set an order to buy F at say 303.99 euros, this would appear here. And as you can see, many people are placing huge orders on both sides. So there is an order here for 303.18 euros for 195 F. So what that means is someone is trying to buy 195.189 F at this price of 303.18 euros. Should they find someone to match that order, this will in fact trigger that order, just like our orders we set earlier to buy and sell, which will then move the wall further, especially on the buy side. So what we can see right now is a fairly balanced wall, every single buy here, and as I move closer up, you can see it correlates on the right hand side also. For example, the 195 order is there, and it spikes out slightly more than the other orders as shown. So the larger the wall gets in terms of width, means the orders being placed are larger than the previous, which makes the wall increasingly wider. So as you can notice here, there's barely any larger orders besides the one that's been placed now. And this correlates pretty well with the sell side as well, so we're fairly balanced right now. But technically the buy wall is still a lot larger, which means the break lower and for price to fall in value, we have to actually eat up all of the buy wall to clear the path for price to fall. When the wall is completely eaten, price will fall to the last price at the very bottom of the buy wall, or increase to the price at the very top of the sell wall. In extreme cases where multi-millions are being sold, price can fall hundreds of dollars, not just single increments. So this is a great way to determine the buying and selling pressure for a crypto at the current point in time. If you combine this in line with the technical analysis and the breakout entry strategy, you can get a nice clear insight into when this breakout will possibly take place. Let's use Dash USD as another example. We see a fairly large buy wall, which does seem to be engulfed by the sell wall, and it's currently reflecting in the price right now, making a great real-life live example for you guys. From a chart alone, we can see Dash is looking to slightly break lower. In terms of technical analysis, we could be expecting around $220. Considering there's also 100 Dash sell order, where on the buy side we barely have over 20 Dash orders. The sell wall was looking huge, and it's even getting bigger right now, as you can see. and it's eating up the buy wall in real time. What's interesting is the buy wall is getting thinner and the sell wall is getting bigger, showing downside pressure is heavily increasing, and we could very easily eat up this entire buy wall right now. If this happens, price could launch down straight towards our technical target of $220. The best part of this feature is many exchanges have discreetly placed it in the order section, and sometimes without graphics, which can make it a lot harder to understand. Overall, many would not take the time to understand this or believe it has any benefit to their investment. The truth is, this could be one of the most powerful indicators you use now to understand how simple to implement it really is. So that's really all there is to it, guys. You don't have to look at it in depth too much. Simply use it in line with your technical analysis and everything else you've learned in this course, and continue building confluences for yourself. One strategy you should try is with very small amounts of capital you don't mind losing. Once you've completed your technical analysis, identified a key breakout point, the MAs have crossed over, you have your confluences. Go onto the Kraken order book for the crypto and place a limit order somewhere between the middle and higher end of the order book. So if you're looking for a breakout to the upside, place your order in the middle of the book or near the top of the order book. If you're shorting, place the order in the middle or near the very bottom of the order book. This means when a huge order is placed which eats up the wall, your order is triggered as one of the final few before price launches upwards or downwards and gives you an excellent entry for quick percentage gains. If you're deciding to day trade, this would also work really well for intraday spikes. Although, don't prioritize that too much, and instead, practice on identifying breakouts and real-time momentum for trend identification. Right guys, so to finish off with the chapter on Kraken buying and selling, I'm actually going to show you the history tab. Now again, you can find this just by scrolling straight to the history tab, and it will immediately bring you to the ledger. Now the ledger is an entry of every single trade or transaction you have done on Kraken. So if I go to the beginning of time, you can see I deposited 175F. I withdrew 175F. I then slowly started depositing more and more again, and then trading and then buying. Now the whole purpose of this is not only for capital gains and tax purposes, but also for you to stay on top of your own transactions, as you will probably end up placing a lot of withdrawals, a lot of trades, a lot of buys, a lot of deposits. So it is good to get an overall idea of what you're actually doing. So again, I've had loads of history of just trading different cryptos, just experimenting, seeing how the system works as well. Because it's just good to have a little look and just see, what you're buying, what you're selling, and just experiment. So what you can do, you can scroll straight through, have a little look. Again, it's all the same stuff. It's very simple. You can actually look further in depth into each transaction, the date and time this was placed. You can even get the reference. So that would be good. If you ever had a query, you can send that straight to support. One thing you can do as well is go to orders. Again, every single order I've ever placed is now available here. So if I go to the last page, I sold some F for 286 euros. I did have some pretty large buy and sells on here as well. I'll try and see if I can find those. Got some F. This is when I started trading altcoins, so it's a nice little insight into when I was just breezing through. I've got $1,500. Got a lot of buys and sells here with XRP. A lot more. I believe I should have some USD. So cancelled. This is interesting. So EOS actually has been removed from Kraken. So what that necessarily meant is any outstanding orders I did have on EOS were immediately cancelled at zero cost. So again, that's just because it's been delisted. I can no longer trade it. Understandable. There's not much I can do about that. However, again, this is good to see, as I had a sell order here for F at $8,000 that cleared. I had another sell order for just under $8,000 which also cleared. And again, if they're closed, it means it's confirmed the order worked. If it was cancelled, it means Kraken has either done that for you, or it may have just been a cancellation you've done yourself. Now, if I go to trades, This is essentially just the buys and sells. There's nothing else it shows. Just like the ledger, it just shows the buys and sells. Now what you can do is you can filter specific time and date and what trade type in particular. However, I do recommend just sticking to the ledger, because if you go to the ledger, you can go to filter, you can actually select the specific crypto, the type, and this is overall everything you actually need. You do not need to worry about specific trades when the option is already on the ledger, as the ledger is your go-to for everything. So if I was to choose, just choose trade only. Let's go to F. Press apply. Every single trade I've ever made with F is now available. 17 pages long. 10F. I paid the fee. I sold another 1F. As you can see, it's all here. Now again, when it comes to capital gains and tax purposes, the export tab is your go-to place. And what this does is, you can go to ledger, you can set the entire duration. Could choose today, or could choose a custom range. For example, from the beginning of time since you first started, you simply press submit and it will pop up here as a PDF file. Now, all you would do is download the PDF, send it to your accountant, or of course use it yourself if you are doing your own accounting. This is a very convenient tool, especially if you do not know about the current tax rates and the capital gains rates tax. This is how you go about doing this. Now guys, this is the end of this chapter. I hope you've taken home a lot of information, and especially on how to buy and sell on Kraken. What will now follow is a bonus chapter on how to buy even more cryptos on another exchange that we do recommend using over here at Cryptonary. So guys, see you in the bonus chapter. Right guys, so you've seen Kraken, you've seen Bitrex. Now I'm going to introduce you to another exchange which has an even wider variety of cryptos, in particular altcoins. And this exchange is called Bitfinex. And funnily enough, is actually one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. What makes Bitfinex so great is it is mostly catered around cryptocurrency deposits and withdrawals. Now you can use USD for all of the US clients and customers out there, for all of you guys in the US out there. However, it is best to stick to crypto for Bitfinex, and the reason being is the speed of use. So that is for deposits and withdrawals. It's just a lot quicker to get the job done. And that's the main purpose of Bitfinex essentially. And that is to get the cryptos in, buy whatever you need to buy, and get them out as fast as possible. What I do also like about Bitfinex, and what really stands out for me, is the multi-wallet system. So we've gone through wallets already, so you know there can be several wallets on an exchange. However, with Kraken, when you create several wallets, they're all for the same purpose. Bitfinex has 3 wallets for 3 different reasons, and we'll cover that in the next video. But for now, we'll navigate the homepage and show you how to get started up as soon as possible. So the minute you start up, you will of course have your security settings, your account settings. This will all need to be done. Now as you can see, I've immediately set up 2-factor authentication once again. Now if you want to do this, you very simply go to the settings here, your little icon, click on security and scroll down to 2-factor authentication. Now you have other options here, which are other kinds of 2-factor and second factor. However, we want to stick with the Google Authenticator. It's what we've been using throughout the course. We might as well stick to the same principles. So you can see that everything I possibly do on here that requires some kind of authority is backed up with 2-factor. So that's logins, withdrawals, password changes, API keys, security settings, and of course sensitive account settings. Now the way you do this is you simply replicate exactly what we've done on Kraken. So that means this will be disabled. You then enable it. From there it immediately gives you a QR code. All you do is simply scan this on the Google Authenticator app, and just like we done on Kraken, this will immediately set up all of them for you. From there you can adjust these yourself. However, I do recommend keeping every single activity covered. You can adjust your session settings. You do not need to touch this at all. But the one thing I would change is keeping the session alive. I'm going to actually switch this off myself. And the reason being is, If you're away from your computer, you lose your laptop, your computer gets stolen, this session could still be logged in when someone retrieves the internet. So once they gain internet access, they can access your holdings in your account. Simply switch this off. Every 10 minutes you'll have to re-log in, which can be a bit of an issue, but you'd rather that than lose thousands and thousands of potentially your crypto holdings. So don't really change anything else on here. You can do IP address change, it will detect a change, and all it will do is immediately invalidate all of your sessions should someone else try and log in from a different IP address. Now we go down to verification, and you may notice I actually have not verified myself, and the reason being is because if you want to use US dollars, then you have to be verified. Seeing as I don't need US dollars, I don't need fiat currencies, as I already do this through Kraken or Coinbase, as you already know. So all I would suggest is, if you're from the US, get yourself verified if you need to use US dollars urgently. If not, keep Bitfinex for cryptos, guys. I highly recommend it. So moving back to the homepage, you may notice it gets a little overwhelming the minute you get onto the homepage. Now, this is how I'm going to break this down for you. On the left hand side, it will always come up with Bitcoin first. Of course, this is the leader of the cryptocurrency market. Monitoring Bitcoin's activity is an essential weapon in our toolbox. So if we go down, we have the rest of the altcoins available here. Now the reason I actually used Bitfinex in the first place was to actually purchase some IOTA. And the reason being is there's no other exchange that does IOTA currently. So it's an easy excuse for me to get used to the platform and start trading IOTA. If you go down, you'll notice a few more cryptos you didn't see on the previous exchanges. For example, SAN, ETP and EDO. Now I'm going to show you how to use these. So let's go to IOTA for my personal example. Now you'll notice straight away, if we go to the funding tab, you do not get a chart that pops up. And that is because there's no trading purpose for being on this tab. The funding tab is to simply manage your holdings and potentially move them back and forth to different accounts. So if I click on the trading tab for IOTA, you will notice a chart comes up immediately, and you may recognize this chart, and that's because it's powered by TradingView. This makes it so convenient to not only trade, but actually to find correct entries and monitor your cryptocurrencies right from the comfort of your exchange. No need to swap between pages, have several tabs up at one time. All you're doing is controlling everything cryptocurrency related in one simple platform. I'll show you how convenient this actually is. Now if I was to buy IOTA in USD, I'll first of all go to USD for this certain crypto. Again, most cryptos will only have BTC and Ether, however some will also have USD available. This is why I suggest sticking to cryptos only. So in this case we will use USD, however please stick to crypto if possible. So what you can do is, you can now change this to market order. As you know from Kraken, we want the best market price possible. Now, you want to choose how much USD you can spend to get IOTA. So I want to buy 300 IOTA. It's going to cost me just under $120. Now I do not have the funds in my account. An error will show up. However, if you press buy, it will simply clear in seconds. If you go to exchange sell, it will sell in seconds. So if the money is there, guys, you can easily transact your money back and forth. So if the funds are available in your account, this will easily clear in seconds, and the crypto will be available in your account here, which I will cover in the next lesson. So for now, let's go down. This will be purely for margin, and as you can see here, there is a margin tab. Now you may notice there's also a margin wallet, so we cannot trade until the funds are in a certain margin wallet. And the reason being is when you have the funds in the margin wallet, it allocates your money and takes a certain percentage aside as a deposit to leverage your purchase to then use margin. However, scrolling down, you will notice just like Bitrex, there's also an active order book which merges the buy and sell wall into the background. Again, another great feature that's very convenient for you to analyze whilst checking the charts and placing an order. So it gives you a good market bias on what's currently going on. And as we can see right now, the buy orders are completely obliterating the sell wall. So the buy wall is getting larger, the sell wall is getting smaller. This tells us if we go up, there could potentially be a nice rise coming very soon. And again, just like the actual trading view, you can right click, you can change your features, you can change the colors, you can add indicators, you can even put the technical analysis purely from this chart alone. So guys, that's essentially it for Bitfinex. You can tell it's not much different to the others. However, due to everything being merged in one platform on one page, it can get overwhelming. Spend a few hours on this also. Practice watching your cryptos move up and down. Look at the buy and sell wall and really get a feel for this exchange, as I have a feeling it may become one of your favorite, especially for purely cryptocurrency use. See you in the next lesson where we cover funding and how to move money between your Bitfinex accounts. Hi guys, and welcome to the bonus chapter. Now you may have noticed when we first went to place trades and look at the Kraken homepage, there is a drop down list of every single crypto you can buy on Kraken. Now if you notice, these are mostly the majors. Very similar to Forex where you have the majors and minors. Here we have the main cryptos, most popular, and then you also have altcoins. Now although some of these are altcoins, they are the most popular traded in the current cryptocurrency market. So Kraken usually keeps the main traded and largest market cap cryptos on their platform. They do not throw in many altcoins unless heavily requested. So this means we're missing out on buying stuff like Vertcoin, Neo, just to name a few. So what that means is we do need to use another exchange. So what we will do is we will actually move to something called Bitrex. Now Bitrex is one of the largest exchanges aside from Kraken. And the only downside to Bitrex is you can only deposit and withdraw crypto. So that means, again, you could use Coinbase to instantly buy some Ethereum or Litecoin or Bitcoin and send it straight to Bitrex, or you could send some of your holdings over from Kraken. So Bitrex, to sign up, again, you cannot replicate the process once you've signed up. So all I will say is it's extremely easy and even less of a hassle than Coinbase or Kraken. This just means instantly from an email and password you will be signed in. And because there's no real banking terms and banking processes involved, it's purely crypto. So all you want to do is just increase your tradable and deposit withdrawal limits by just adding your address. All that will do is enable Bitrex to give you a verified account and trade to your fullest extent. So let's work around this, as again this can be very complicated to buy and sell. So first of all, you have the most traded coin of the day. Again, I have actually never heard of this coin personally, and this just shows how cryptocurrency works. These new coins are coming out every day, whether from ICOs or just out of nowhere, almost from thin air. And these coins are doing 151% in a day. Now, you may never know to catch these coins, but somehow, somewhere, manipulation is happening and people are buying up these coins. And most likely 99% of the time, these coins will be back down to 0% by the day after. So you have three options, I believe, and that is Bitcoin market. So you can trade your Bitcoin for everything available here. There are 10 pages of almost every single cryptocurrency you could imagine. As you can see, this does give you a lot more flexibility with what you can actually buy and sell. Again, we have the Ethereum market. So again, this is exactly the same as above, yet you're trading the cryptos for Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. And then we have the USDT, which is the crypto equivalent of the US dollar. Although currently USDT, which stands for US dollar Tether, is not currently pegged to any real currency. So I would actually stay away from this, as it does seem like a great store of value when the market may be falling. However, USDT is not pegged to any real currency and has no backing. So it is currently worthless in my opinion. So I would stick to Bitcoin and Ether, as it is also a lot faster to trade. So what you can do as well, for example, if I go to my wallet, You can view your wallet from here. As you can see, I have some NEO in my wallet. I have 20.35 with a current value of around 602 USD. Now, the current price today has fallen almost 10%. Again, very standard for cryptocurrencies. I do not care. This is how you have to approach this, guys. As you can see, the rest of the market has kind of followed suit. This is very standard. Again, pending withdrawals. If I place a withdrawal request, which is as simple as pressing the minus sign, I could enter my other NEO address if I had a NEO wallet, or if I had another exchange with NEO on it. All I would do is enter the quantity, which would be the max amount, enter the address here and press withdrawal. This will then land in your pending withdrawal tab, which will eventually clear after it's received enough confirmations. If you now want to deposit NEO as an example, once the address is loaded, all you would do is copy and paste this address into Kraken, for example. And obviously in the funding tab where you would withdraw NEO, you would enter in the address given here. What that would do is it would then eventually send this through to Bitrex. So for example, I wanted to buy NEO. I could send Ether over to Bitrex. All I would do is go to deposit, withdraw, go to Ether. I would then select an address, and as you can see, I have many addresses, including my Bitrex one. All I would do is enter, for example, 10 Ether, go to Ether, which you can simply find from here by typing Ethereum, go to plus. You would then have the Ether address. So of course I already have this set up, and as you can see, this ends in B917. So if I go back to this, you can see B917. The address is already saved. By pressing send on Kraken, this would then send this to pending deposits, where after enough confirmations, which I believe is around 6, this would then be available in your account. And all you would do is go to Bitrex, go to the Ethereum market as you're currently holding Ethereum. Let's just say, for example, you wanted to buy Bancor. This is where it gets confusing. So if you follow the guidelines, and guys, remember, please keep taking note. Buying Bancor. So of course we don't want to sell Bancor, we want to buy. If I had F in my account, of course it would say 10F. All you would do is press max. So obviously if you had 10F, you would buy the max amount of Bancor that your 10F could buy you. You would then go to price. You then have two options. Well, you have three options, but although you ideally should be choosing the top two. Now, if you're fast enough, you could get your Bancor at the latest price offered here in the order book. This is very similar to the Kraken CryptoWatch interface. However, there's no graphics, and this is obviously moving very fast. So what I would actually do is I would select the bid price, then I'd press buy Bancor. Now of course I do not have funds, so I'm not going to press confirm. But what this would do is this would place your order of 0 Bancor in this case, would place your order straight into the order book in the bid book. So of course if you're done last, you will have to be very lucky. But if you place bid, your order is now in the bid book and it should clear almost instantly. And that is pretty much it. So for example, I'll use my NEO now. Seeing as I currently have some NEO, I'll show you what it would look like to sell the NEO. Although I will not be selling, I will show you anyway. So you go to sell NEO. All of my NEO units are now available. I would want to sell the max, which is all of them. I would then choose the bid price. This would get me 0.11483 Bitcoin. Again, press sell. The minute I press sell, I confirm everything, press confirm, and this would appear here. And then you go down and your open orders would be here. Very similar to Kraken, where the open order shows and then it disappears almost instantly. And guys, that is simply how you buy and sell. Now again, all you'd have to do is just hold it here in your wallet. Very simple stuff. There are extra security measures to take on how to store cryptos. You cannot store all of them in a certain way. However, for the main, like Ether, Ripple, Litecoin, Bitcoin, you can store them on a very special and very protective device. I will be covering that in a chapter in itself. Now guys, thank you for watching this chapter. I look forward to seeing you in the next. Hi guys, welcome back. And last but not least, we have the wallet function on Bitfinex. I'm going to show you how this works, what the purpose is, and how to do this as fast as possible. So the minute you get onto the exchange and you need to access your funds, whether that's to deposit, withdraw, or access the entire wallet, first of all, we'll go to deposit. From here, you can see my deposit for Ether very recently, just a few days ago. And as you can see, this was completed. It was for 6.67 F. If you click on the actual deposit, you can go further and get the address it was sent to, the TX ID, and an actual link to go straight to the TX ID. And as you can see, this was completed. So the way I done this was I went to Ethereum and I had 3 wallets here that needed generating. All I done was press generate wallet, generate wallet, generate wallet. Now I'll show you this with another example. If I go to Ethereum Classic, the wallet is already there. If you go to Bitcoin, the wallet has not been made yet. So all I can do is generate a wallet here, generate another wallet, and finally generate one more wallet. Now that's done, let's go back to Ether where I made my original deposit. So when we go to Ether, you will notice I have an exchange wallet, I have a margin wallet, and I have a funding wallet. Now, the first time I funded on this site, I did send it straight to the funding wallet. As you can presume automatically, the funding wallet is where you originally put your holdings. This isn't always the case, but if you just want to simply send crypto to hold, then send it to the funding wallet. If you want to send it straight away to be exchanged, send it straight to the exchange wallet. The margin wallet is exactly the same as the exchange wallet, yet it allows you to trade via margin. Now if you notice on the left hand side here, after I purchased IOTA, this was then present in the exchange wallet. However, I moved this to the funding wallet as I have no intention to sell my IOTA anytime soon. And all you'll have below is the USD equivalent of the market price right now. So we're talking just under 1,900 USD. So that can stay there. So what I'm going to show you is how to move from wallet to wallet to wallet in 3 simple steps. So select the wallet tab up here, and what you'll notice is you can easily transfer from wallets simply from this tool here. And if you can see, if I had more cryptos in my wallets here, I would be able to select these all, which would automatically reflect up here in this tool. So if I start clicking here into multiple wallets, you can see it's starting to change up above. And that obviously depends if I'm selecting the exchange wallet, the margin wallet, or the funding wallet. For this example, I will send my IOTA from the funding wallet to the exchange wallet and then back again. So all I do is I go to IOTA, I select my holdings, it automatically comes up here and it automatically knows I've selected the funding wallet. So for this example, I'm going to send it to the exchange wallet by simply pressing transfer. And just like that, it's been confirmed my funds have been shifted to the exchange wallet. I now want to bring this back as I will not be trading this anytime soon. So all I do is select exchange. It now changed from funding wallet to exchange wallet, and I will send this back to funding. Simply press transfer again. There we have it, the money is back in my account. As simple as that, I can now monitor this and keep this safe right from the Bitfinex platform. Guys, it's as simple as that. There's nothing else to it. Do not overcomplicate things. Just get used to the interface. I guarantee you'll pick this up way faster than you actually think. Thank you for watching this lesson. Right guys, so this lesson is just a short and simple one and showing you how to use an app on the iOS App Store called Blockfolio. Now I do believe this is available on the Android App Store as well. However, I cannot confirm that as I am using an iPhone for this app. Now, the way Blockfolio works is it's a virtual portfolio which allows you to input all of the purchases you've made and calculate all of your holdings at the point you've bought them. So the way I do this is the minute I buy something on an exchange, I will immediately go to Blockfolio and input the exact amount I've bought. And because this links to the prices from Kraken, Bitrex, Bitfinex, any exchange available, the price in real time is actually 100% accurate. So if I was to buy 200 NEO right now on Bitrex, I can immediately input 200 NEO onto this Blockfolio app and count it as a buy. You can even choose which exchange you bought on. This then immediately inputs the NEO price and holdings I currently bought into the Blockfolio app, and we'll update it right here. So what we do is we can scroll up and down, and this will constantly refresh the portfolio value. As you can see, currently today I am down almost $12,000. Due to the sum I have in the account and my overall portfolio, the value up and down on a daily basis can be quite drastic. If we click on the 24-hour change button, we can change this to the daily percentage change. So I am down around 2% today. That is because the only saving grace is Ether, and as we can see, that is a 1% gain today. However, I prefer to see the USD value changing on a daily basis. And if we update this, we can see I'm constantly going up and down in the hundreds of dollars. Now, what you can do is you can also check your history. For example, with Ripple, I have a lot of buy and sell history on Ripple. I can check the details of the current Kraken price. As all of my trades for Ripple were done through Kraken, this is the exchange it will relate it to. You can see the daily basis, you can see the 3-month basis. You can change this however you like. If you go down, you can see the current market statistics on a 24-hour basis, and also my holdings right here at the bottom. If you go to book, you can actually see the Kraken order book, which is quite a nice little touch. However, you will never really need to look at this, as the Crypto Watch interface I show in one of the previous lessons will in fact be the best way to do this. You can go to alerts and you can set alarms when price reaches a certain level. For example, you can go to add alert, we can go to XRP versus Bitcoin, we can select Kraken as this is what we're using. You can then choose if you want the price above this level or below this level. You then choose it as a one-off, or it can constantly remind you again and again. Simply press save and this will set the alert right there. If you want to remove this alert, simply click on it and press delete. You can also pause the alert. Now, what you can also do, and what my favorite feature is actually check your holdings and your profit and loss for this specific crypto. So if we have a look at the XRP summary, we can see I'm holding 191.24 thousand XRP, which has a current market value of just under $39,000. And as you can see here, you can scroll through and check every single transaction you've ever made. And as you can see, one of my largest purchases was on the 22nd of May. Again, this was Kraken. This shows the value and this shows everything. You can also alter this if you select it. However, I do not want to alter this as this is a highly accurate investment. So if we go to my Ripple holdings, when we go to the actual holdings, you will notice I am in a bit of profit. However, this is actually inaccurate, and I'll be completely honest with this one. The price on May 22nd was actually around 28 cents. So I'm unsure why this has changed itself to 12 cents. However, the cost for this investment, I actually put in 51,000 USD. So the reason it looks like I've made 67%, and the reason the market value is this much, is because I actually put in double the net cost to reach the current market value price. So besides that error there, which was my own fault, it was my first time using the app, so I was a bit put off with how this actually works. But since then, I have managed to catch many buys and sells through different points in time. And you can see all of this through this app here. Up to the present day, the most recent was a buy for 369 XRP. Just again, I dollar cost average my buys, and I like to keep track of this here. Another new purchase was actually GNT. Very new to my purchasing, I bought one amount for $2,000 at 23.5 cents. I'm currently in a $400 loss. Again, long-term holding, I like to look at this and think, okay, I'm minus $400. I'm holding this for at least a year or two. Price is more likely than not, considering I bought at an extreme low, price is more likely going to triple or quadruple within that time period, then continue to fall lower to zero. So overall, it's good to look at and keep a nice track of your portfolio on a daily basis. This saves you logging into Kraken, logging into Bitrex, logging into Bitfinex, and having to log in and go through the two-factor. You have a nice handy tool here which you can constantly refresh, and as you can see, I've just lost another $1,783. So guys, just keep this in mind, have a play, see if it's available on the Android store as well. I believe it should be, and just start taking note. It's just like a trading journal you would have with Forex or stocks, except you're essentially keeping track on your phone and seeing how your performance is going on a daily basis. So you've learned how to deposit money, now it's time to learn how to withdraw money. Again, very simple. We go back to the funding tab. We now go from deposit to the withdraw button. Once selected, this will be highlighted instead of deposit. This tells you you're on the correct tab. Now one thing you will notice, just like the deposit tab, is all of the recent withdrawals are here. Again, this is Ripple, Euro and Ether. Several funds, several amounts, and just a little insight into the fees you pay for each withdrawal. Now as you can see, every single one was a success. So if you go to the second page, success. The third page, success. And every other transaction to show here. Now very similar with GBP, especially for countries within the Eurozone, is we want to withdraw in the same currency we deposited with. So that's going to be Euro. So we go to Euro, and once again, very similar, we go to the withdraw method and select SEPA. Balance is insufficient, and that's purely because I have 0 fiat currency in my account right now. Now if we go down, you have the option of all your saved accounts. I have my personal already selected, meaning whenever I want to withdraw to my bank, I simply select this and it's complete. Usually within a working day, your money has arrived. However, in this instance, we have to create a new account. So we press add account. Name of account. Now this could be anything, mum, dad, just to name a few. Enter your IBAN number, which is the international bank account number. Name of your bank. For example, in the UK, this will be HSBC, Halifax, Lloyds or Barclays. Then enter the BIC code, which is the bank identification code. And then to find your bank's physical address, simply Google the bank name and area, and the result will immediately be available to copy and paste. Once that's saved, it will be available here, just like my personal. Simply select this and enter the amount you want to withdraw and hit send. For example, let's go to the USD version as well, before we move on to cryptocurrencies. For USD, you select SWIFT, press add account, and then repeat the exact same process again. The SWIFT number, the IBAN number, bank address and SWIFT code if need be. Then press add account and repeat the process of selecting your newly made account when you need to actually withdraw the crypto or USD. Now more importantly is sending cryptocurrencies. So for this example, we'll use Bitcoin. Go to withdraw method, go to Bitcoin. Balance is insufficient as I hold no BTC on this account, only XRP. Go to add address, description. This could be anything. This could be another exchange, your ledger, anything. All you do is enter the numerical deposit address provided from the other exchange or your wallet and create this as a new destination to withdraw your BTC to. When the time comes to send your crypto, you repeat the process of fiat withdrawals and select the relevant XRP account. If you want to see what it would look like properly, I'll use my XRP holdings as an example. So you can see I have several addresses such as Bitrex and my ledger. If I was to send this to Bitrex, I would select max amount. I would put review withdrawal, press send, and all it would do is reconfirm everything, showing me the address, the amount being sent, the fee for this transaction, and finally the total amount arriving after the fee is taken. What you will also notice is the one-time password needs to be entered as well. This is where the second factor we set in the previous lesson comes in handy. If someone was to jeopardize and hack into my account and try to release the XRP into their account, they would need the one-time password. Chances are they won't have your phone or your personal information, so they would not be able to withdraw the cryptocurrency. Therefore, triggering an alert and alerting Kraken to email you. From here, you can block your account easily, so it's very important you set this up. I will not be sending this anywhere as I do not need to. However, what I have shown you in this lesson covers every practical step before withdrawing crypto and fiat currencies. Now I'm going to show you how to avoid waiting one working day and actually bypass the banking system. See you in the next lesson.